So let's start. Good evening, everyone. I am Yuva Manthan. I am your moderator for the new episode on youth brainstorming or Yuva Manthan, as it is called. Today we are Today we will be discussing a very hot topic which is very relevant today: the impact of social media. Over the past 2 decades, social media has gained much growth and fame worldwide to such an extent that many researchers are now interested in learning more about these social media platforms and their effects on the community as a whole. Despite the fact that almost everyone in the community is connected to at least one person on the social media platform, or at least one social media platform, the youth and the teenagers are the leading and most fanatic for the social media platforms, and they are encouraged more and more to go to social media platforms and use them. They use it at the places where they should not use, like in classes or at religious places as well. It is this light that researchers have found that social sites impact the lives of our youth in a society in a great deal of terms such as morals, behavior, and even education otherwise. In this session, we would try to understand the impact of the social media on the social networking sites, their uses, their pros and cons, along with identifying the risks involved and learn how to minimize and overcome them. I have two speakers along with me here, Kopala Kirtana and Ishan, will speak over the topic. A warm welcome to you both. So let's begin with our questions. My first question is, which social media platform do you use the most and what are their purposes? I would ask Kirtana to answer this question first. Over to you, Kirtana.
So, hello everyone. So it is undoubtedly true that social media has made our lives much more easier during these tough times. So be it a 10-year-old child or a 70-year-old person, everyone uses social media these days. So I use Facebook a lot for various purposes, like there are many college groups where people post about various topics like technology based internships, news, politics, etc., and also memes, share some photos, post videos, music, etc. Also, I use Facebook to connect with friends, make new friends, and share some knowledge and so on. That's it.
I would like Ishan to speak on this question.
Hello everyone. I would like to say that my favorite social media platform is YouTube. I use YouTube a lot. It is a video sharing platform where anyone can view, watch videos, or anyone can even upload his or her own content. Like it's a network with it's a billion number of videos present over there, be it on every topic. Like there are educational videos there are social videos. You can find videos for entertainment purpose or also find news related videos. So it's very good to have information as well as in social media. Like for creators as well, those who upload content, they can join like they can connect with people like uploading videos regularly for their audience, and audience also can subscribe their favorite content creators whom they like to watch and listen to. So also people can what do you say? People can engage with each other in the comment section of videos. So I think YouTube is a very good social networking platform.
My next question is, how do you think social media has changed the process of mass communication? I would like to ask this question from Ishan specifically.
Okay, the social media has drastically changed the way people communicate, like over the world. Like before social media, it was very hard to communicate with other people. Like before social media, only we could communicate with people we already know. Like there was not much things, only phone calls, or we can send those letters by post. So, but after the social media, this has changed. We can now even connect with people we don't even know. We can find new friends on Facebook, Instagram, on these new websites. So it has changed very much. So it earlier it used to take a long time for informations to spread to people. Like only newspapers and television were the sources. Like if one is not at home, so it was hard for him to get information about what's going around in the world. But now using these social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook. One can also get access to a lot of information like what's happening around, what are the new areas where researches are going on, like current happening somewhere, what happens. So social media helps to spread information very fast. That's one thing I like about it. Also, we can say that social media helped us to communicate much in a much better way. Like instant messages we could send to anyone and they can reply as soon as they possible. It has also helped in working in these COVID times from home. Like people are also use WhatsApp to communicate to their co-members or also to the people they work with. So yeah, it helps very much in process of communication.
Thanks, Ashant, for a very nice answer. I would move to the next question. What, according to you, are the positive impacts of the social media? I would like to ask this question from Kirtan.
The positive impacts of social media, particularly on youth today, include making them up to date on the events happening around the globe and also enables them to network and stay connected with their fellow youths and friends without physical meetings. So also it bridges the gap between the friends since a person in India can network and interact with his or her friend in the United States. So this in turn helps in strengthening relationships among classmates in high school or college who after finishing school move to different locations around the world. Additionally, youth can also create pages and groups in social media platforms based on their profession, based among other dimensions of their lives, and this lead to more connections and build more opportunities being open for their respective disciplines. This can even lead to more employment opportunities being created for the unemployed youths. From various reports, youth say that social media platforms make their lives enjoyable, efficient, and easier, and have also become their lifestyle.
Thank you for your answer, Kirtana. Uh, I move to the next question. Often we see various ads on social media. How can these platforms be used to expand businesses? I would like to ask this question from Ishant.
So advertisement is one way the social media has been changing our lives. Like we often see many advertisement while scrolling our feed or while watching videos. We see different companies placing advertisement to the user. Since social media has a large number of people, a large number of users, like around 3 billion people around the world. So it's easy for companies to spread their name, their brand, their products to different people so that everyone can have a look that okay, these things companies have bought new things or doing these things. And also they like it is a very cheap way of advertisement. Like if we compare with traditional method of advertising, social media advertising is a bit cheap. So it also helps company to increase their audience, grow their business. Also, this is a two-way communication. So companies learn about audience's interest. Like we often see we search something on Google and then suddenly we get same type of ad in our other feed. Like if we search something or like we want to buy laptop, you search and then you move to your social media sites, you will see that you will find ads related to that. So social media is also using our interests, our data. They are checking our interests and collecting a feedback and then gaining much more reach towards the audience. So it's had made change the advertisement in a very drastic way.
Ishant, over to the next question. Apart from cyber crimes, as Ishant mentioned, are there any other negative ways of social media, negative impacts of social media? I would like to ask this question from Kirtana.
Yes, there are some of the negative impacts. Like adding to what Ishant has said, it has been witnessed that people are becoming more and more public and open about their personal lives on social networks, which really hampers their privacy. Photos and videos uploaded may be misused. This is a serious concern. Since there is an easy access for all, misinformation usually spread fast. Another major concern is that social media one's productivity. As many people spend the majority of their time there, it obviously hampers their concentration and they often get distracted a lot. And extensive use of the same can have fatal consequences adversities, and mental health problems. And also, this addiction leads to insomnia, mental stress, and time killing. So, especially teenagers, it affects especially teenagers who are the future of the nation. Yes, social media helps in interacting with new people, but you cannot deny that compared to face interaction, it is not of any real significance. Many young people have started living their life as comparing themselves with others, and they treat number of likes, comments, and followers on people's profile as the parameters of respect and importance in society. This kind of traps them in a virtual world. It may make people very remote in islands in the world where they think sitting in their room they are having a great relationship with the world without ever knowing what human transaction really is.
Thank you, Kirtana. It was a really eye-opener answer for the youth who spend a lot of time on social media. Over to the next question. In these fast-changing times, it is very difficult to remain away from social media. How can we resist this behavior or add it to our benefit? I would like to ask this question from Ishan.
Okay, so social media and technology, they are like a double-edged sword. They can be a great tool for us to help us in our daily life. Simultaneously, they can bring some bad things. There are some bad things to it, like it's very distracting and time-consuming. People often get addicted to these social media sites, and it's hard to leave when you are into it. Like if you are continuously using those social media sites and you stop suddenly, it does affect you. Like you will not get you will not get interest in other works. Like these things happen, but we can keep these things in control. Like one way we can do is while we are at work, or like students while they are studying in their study hours, they should turn off the notification, because this notification just keep coming. It keeps distracting you. So you can stop the notification whenever you are at work or thing. Or also you can check the time, how much time you give to these things. Like if they are taking a little time, then it's good for us. Like in smart devices there are options to track our screen time of different applications and things we do. So we can set a certain limit. Like we can decide that we are not going to give more than this much time to social media. So we can set the timers according in our mobile phones. Like after we have used this much, the app will be all automatically closed. So this way we can restrict the use. But yeah, they are good to have a recreational activity. But but the problem arises when they become a state of compulsion. Like I've seen people, they keep checking their mobile phones again and again. So these things affect them very badly. But overall, there are good things to it, bad things to it if we take it in balance.
Thank you, Ishan, for your suggestions. Hope our audience will think over it. Moving to the next question. What are the possible solutions to eliminate or at least reduce to a certain extent the ill effects of social media? I would like Kirtana to answer this question.
So, as in the earlier question, Ishant has mentioned that at first we have to actually realize that social media is not just some kind of tool, but it is indeed much more intelligent than our human intelligence. The algorithm is used behind it collects our data like how much time we spend on certain videos or posts, like who we follow, and it reads our minds and in turn gives back information based on our data that has been collected to grab our attention. Certain studies also prove that whenever we see people liking our posts or videos, then a happy hormone called dopamine that gets released, which is as addictive as nicotine that we get from smoking or alcohol consumption. So, in order to tackle this problem, the first thing is that we must engage ourselves as much as possible with natural elements. So, instead of watching some nonsense on television, one must go for a walk in the garden. Or these days, since one cannot go, they can have a walk on the terrace too. One can practice yoga, meditation, which helps them to get rid of the addiction. Secondly, it is very much needed for us to understand the value of our time and energy. At the end of the day, if social media is not adding a dimension of learning to your life, you must realize that you are wasting your time and avoid using that. Also, like Ishant has already mentioned, there are certain apps apps which help to set certain limited time goals and also block these social media apps. So there has to be mindful distraction. We have to put in our efforts to get away from this addiction. It is actually not easy as it sounds, but it is also not impossible. If one genuinely puts in effort, they can definitely get away with it.
Thanks a lot, Kirtana, for your words. So here we come at the end of our session. Since with the discussion we got clear that everything has its pros and cons. It is just like a coin which is a head and tail, and we cannot separate it from each other. This applies exactly to the social media as well. We cannot get away from it, and we cannot be with it all the time. And therefore, it has advantages, and at the same time, it has limitations. It in one way it is enhancing, but in another way it is distracting as well. So what I would like to say that is technology has no quality of its own, but it is just an enabler. How can we use it can make us or can break or even can break us. So it is left to the individual and to the cultures, educational institutions on how they would perceive it to the well-being. As a youth of the nation, it is high time we understand the social media is meant for our benefit, and we must take up the responsibility to spread awareness in our surroundings so that all of us start using it in a positive way. It is very important that we must decide as a generation of people, particularly as youth, where the world would go tomorrow. As one of you mentioned that youth are the future of tomorrow. We would be the future of this country. That's all from my side. I thank Kirtana and Nishan for joining the session. I thank all the people who would be seeing this video on YouTube. I would request all of our viewers to like the video, hit the subscribe button, and subscribe to our channel and share it with your friends. Thanks a lot, everyone.